Hello and welcome to our second weekly update for BettaMax Sydney. So these are just our giants, which are getting nice and big. We've started separating some of these guys out. That's a good example. Some of them are a lot bigger than the others, so we need to take those out to give some space for the smaller ones to start growing. There's a really nice range of colours in here. They're all from the same parents, one spawn. It's about 300 fish. So you can see the tank is actually still really foggy. So the video we're going to post on the UV filter has hit a few complications, as you can see. So we decided to do, I want to say a part 2, but it's going to be in the same video. The video's just taken a bit of a turn because we haven't got the results that we wanted, but we're going to try some alternative methods to try and get rid of this fogginess. We did end up removing all of the water lettuce and the bigger plants we had in the tank, just because they're more suited for a pond setup, and they were getting too big. Even for this tank, which is pretty big, and the kind of the smaller little frog bit and other floating plants doing a lot better. And it turns out that there was actually a lot of dead material underneath the water lettuce, where some of the bigger leaves were coming off. So maybe that contributed to some of this fogginess, but we will see. Hopefully it will have cleared up by next week. Our sororities are doing well. They're slowly dwindling. We've had a few sorority orders going out, so the number's slowly going down, but we still have some pretty ones in there. This is the Black Dragon sorority tank, who are all happy. Probably want some food, but it's not feeding time. Let me see. This is our other sorority tank. You see there are big roots growing on these frogbit and other floating plants. I need to clean the algae off this one, it's getting a bit gross. And our wild type tank. These guys are getting nice. There's a little bit of algae in there I need to clean out. So we're going to be pairing these guys up and putting them on the website likely as pairs. You can see the males are these kind of darker ones, and the females are some of these light colour ones. So we've got quite a few of these guys. So in one of our really old tanks we actually have these Hawaiian varieties platies that we used to sell to a store, but we're looking at, we'll probably clear these guys out, so we can use this as another fry tank, because it's a very big tank. I think it's 80 litres or 100 litres or something, and it's just been a bit of a hard decision, because I loved growing these little guys, and I love their colours, and I've had them for a couple years. But ultimately, I'm not really looking to put these on our site, and they're just kind of taking up space where we could have more fry. So, a bit of a hard decision, but I think I just need to let these guys go. It looks a bit dark because I don't actually have a light in this one, it's just kind of ambient light from outside. So here is our tank with the super yellows, and there are some black and white ones in there. I think those darker fry are obviously the black and whites, and the paler ones are super yellows. Some of them look pretty white. I think they're the black and white fry, and then the kind of, you can see some in there are a bit more yellowy. So they're growing, they're getting bigger. So you can see this guy in here. We've been just shooting some more updated pictures for the website. So this is a chocolate samurai. The way, if you can tell if it's a samurai, a mamba, or a dragon, is you can see there's like a very clear line here. If it's got that white line across the top and a white head, that's a samurai. If it's got any other white scales, it's a mamba. So this one's got kind of 1 or 2 rogue scales, but I'd still count this as a samurai. To be a dragon is kind of if it's got more scales or less scales. This guy, you can see he's clamping his fins because he's not very happy being put in the display tank. So one of the difficulties which I hadn't expected was in getting photos of these guys. When you put them in the display tank, they need maybe 5 or 10 minutes to kind of settle down, because they get freaked out when you chuck them in the display tank, so they'll just kind of hide and they'll clamp their fins, and then once you've given it 5 or 10 minutes, they'll start getting a bit more active and they'll start flaring against the mirror. So he's only been in here for about 2 minutes. You can see he's starting to swim around. Hopefully we'll get some good pictures of him. Our freckled koi babies, the babies of Henry, are getting a bit bigger. You can see, that's the wrong scale, this one. You can see there's one there. So it's great. So we did remove a lot of the plant material out of here. It's just this one water lettuce, which ultimately we're not going to use these plants anymore. But while the fish were so small, I didn't want to accidentally pull them out of the tank, so staying in there for now. There are loads of snails in here. I need to kind of eradicate some of these snails. I don't actually see any of the fry in there. There are maybe 30 or 40 fish in there. So in this tank, I'm not sure if I showed this last week, we've actually moved a sorority of dumbos in here to grow out, because they were just very slow to grow. So hopefully with a bit of extra space they'll grow out. Because someone has already asked for these guys. They're just growing very slowly. Our Mahakais are doing very well. Some of them are starting to get their nice blue colour. You'll see they've got that nice like blue sheen. But I'd say they still need a good month or 2 before they'll be ready to sell. But we're really happy we've got so many in here. There's actually this one here is a spade tail embellis. It just looks slightly different, and it's got red fins compared to these ones with the black stripes, so Mahakai. There's only 1 or 2 embellis in there, as the parents had eaten all of the eggs, so we just put the survivors in with the Mahakais because they're very similar age. You can see these are our fire candy babies, and they're starting to get a little bit of colour in them. It's still kind of a bit disappointing compared to the parents, and there are a lot of cellophanes in here, but hopefully the cellophanes can gain colour over time, and hopefully these guys will gain. They should be long fins with a very nice colouring, like a mix of galaxy colours, so hopefully maybe in a couple weeks they'll start gaining a bit more colour. A good sign is where they've started losing some of the blue-red coloration, and I've noticed they tend to do this prior to gaining kind of their adult colours. They'll kind of shift. This is what the Giants did a couple of weeks ago, so I'm still hopeful for these guys. These are our blue spawn. This one's actually metallic dragon. These greeny ones are metallic dragons. The dark blues are just pure short fins, and then we've got kind of some mixes in here. I think this is a mix between a Dumbo and a long fin. This one looks like a metallic as well. So these guys just need a couple more weeks to grow out, but they're getting to a nice size, and there are some nice colours in here as well. We've taken out some of the bigger ones just to give them a bit more space to grow, and at the end this is just a breeding tank. So if you guys are on our email list, you will have got our monthly update, which we're going to be sending out each month. But if you're not on that list, you can add yourself on there on our website, which is bettamaxsydney.com.au. We will be posting kind of like a Better Basics series, but we're still kind of deciding on the format and exactly what we want to say. As I've seen on some of the Facebook groups, there's a lot of negativity and toxicity from the community towards each other, and we want to more kind of promote positivity in the hobby. Like, it's okay if you make mistakes and you know, you're just new to the hobby, because a lot of these people who are getting a lot of hate are just very new and don't really understand what to do. So whatever we can do to help, we are going to try. We're based in Sydney, so we're still stuck in lockdown, which hasn't been great, but we're still doing our orders going out every Wednesday. We were debating whether to put a pause on the ordering, but ultimately we decided, you know, the shipping company is still promising that they can get the packages out, so we're still going to be sending them out once a week. So currently our orders are going out on Wednesdays, but ultimately we'll probably open it up to maybe 1 or 2 days extra a week. Now the main problem we have is we send on a Wednesday because it means the packages will arrive Thursday or Friday, where if we sent on a Friday they wouldn't be delivered Saturday, Sunday, and it would be pushed out to Monday, and we're not really happy to have the fish in transit for that long. We've actually had packages getting to Queensland quicker than some of the suburbs in Sydney, but we're hoping once lockdown clears up, obviously things should be moving a lot more quickly. You see some of these guys have really pretty colours. We've opened the pre-ordering of these guys, if you see any that you like. It depends on the size. It's better to wait until they're fully grown out, because it's a bit hard to tell what their maximum size is going to be. So again, I just want to thank everyone for your support. Please like and share the video. Any feedback you can give us in a comment, or ideas of what you'd like to see from us. We post on our Instagram daily and on our Facebook, and we're going to be trying to put out maybe some like care guides, or we're just kind of debating what to do. And a big focus at the moment is to get better pictures up on our website, because we want to make sure our pictures are really clear for the fish that you're getting. You know, we don't want there to be any mix-ups in, we don't want the fish to look different in pictures than it does in person. So we're just making sure that we take enough time in taking those photos so they truly represent the fish. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.